Hey guys, it's Staci Hutch, and apparently our bosses thought that we didn't talk enough.
So we're going to do a podcast.
We're going to say too much. Hopefully we don't get fired, but it's a podcast, so they can't fire us for having our own thoughts.
And we don't get paid for this, so how can you fire from something that you don't actually do for a job?
You're not getting paid?
No, are you?
Let's start the podcast.
All right, it is Staci Hutch, Say Too Much, powered by Mattress Galaxy. Hey, Miss Stace.
Hey!
We're recording this in May, and if you're watching outside of May, just know that Mental Health Month is May, but it's also every single day of people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited to talk about this because I think, the stigma of mental health, at least, wasn't really talked about, especially before COVID.
Oh, right.
And I know in the area, you and I kind of just said, hey, this is us.
This is it.
And people were like texting in shocked, like, you guys are talking about your own mental health issues
Like,
on the radio?
You're putting that out there? And like, well, yeah, because why not?
Yeah, our lives are that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we thought, today, especially with the music therapy that we do and kind of bringing more awareness to it, we'd invite Marna in from Make It Okay. And Marna, thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate you coming in.
Well, I'm so glad to be here, and I'm so glad you opened up with how important it is to talk about mental health and illness.
Well, that's the thing. Like, before pandemic time, people would use the word crazy, and they'd use the word, and it's even I try not to say that word anymore, but it was just kind of thrown away as someone was just Looney Tunes and whack, and whatever adjectives you want to use to describe it. When I started experiencing it myself, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. It's one of those things where we are using these words, but not understanding what any of these words mean. So first off, let's talk pre-pandemic and mental health, especially, I know for men, the stigma of mental health before pre-pandemic was very quiet. No one really talked about it much.
Yeah, you are so right. And, Make It Okay actually has been working on hard on stigma since 2017. 2013 and 12. What's so important about that is that it has been a slow process to have communities start to think about this differently. And so the pandemic did change some things. It changed how much people are talking about mental health and illness. But we also have noticed it doesn't necessarily change how informed people are about mental health and illness.
Oh.
So there's still a lot of work to do. So of course, using less stigmatizing language, caring conversations that reflect our humanity, not labeling people, is at the core of all of this. And so is understanding that we all have a state of mental health, and mental illnesses are common, extraordinarily common, 1 in 5 adults. And we also all have a state of mental health every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's poor, sometimes it's great. So this is actually a common experience that's been silenced by stigma.
Well, we always associate, people did before I did too, mental health as just bipolar or schizophrenia or,
Right.
The very severe.
Or you're depressed because something happened.
Right.
And that's the only reason you'd be depressed. Like, someone can't be depressed because they're rich and famous. What's there to be depressed about?
Right.
It doesn't work like that.
Right. But you're right. It's so much more than that. And we learned that in the pandemic, but we also learned, which is very scary. You said 1 in 5 adults, but we're learning more about the kids and the children.
We are.
That you think before pandemic, oh, you're just, you're being bullied at school, or you're just, it's someone else's, or there wasn't much talk of it. And so one of the good things I think the pandemic has brought out in people is the awareness of mental health. There are very few things about what happened during the pandemic, but I think the fact that people are more open to talk about it was a good thing. So what is your mission? What is your goal for Make It Okay? And besides the stigma?
Absolutely. Really starting 10 years ago, looking at stigma, and over the last few years, especially with the learnings we've had as a result of COVID and some scientific surveys we use to measure stigma in the community, we have also focused on opening up the 2 things. First of all, really more informed conversations. Helping people understand, like you said, Hutch, that not all mental illnesses are the same. They vary in terms of severity of symptoms, they vary in terms of treatment, and that those mental illnesses also don't make some don't deserve the kind of treatment around the language you talked about.
Mhm.
At the same time, it's helping bridge between people who are seeking mental health support or wondering if they would benefit from mental health support, and letting them know there are resources available. And those resources we've learned, especially during COVID and the tumultuous years we have had, especially here in the Twin Cities, there's really no wrong door to getting mental health care, but we know that people need different kinds of access, different kinds of resource that really speak to them. Had you mentioned men, in one of our surveys that we do in the community, we have found that men are 4 times more reluctant to seek mental health care than the women in that particular survey.
And that's why I think men are more prone to wanting to take their own lives than women are, because they don't feel like they can get the help.
Mm-hmm.
It's super sad. I don't know. Like,
Mhm.
it's just like when people don't think they can get the help, and the help is right in front of them, even though
Right.
we hear all that. You and I have talked about this. Is
Uh-huh.
to get a therapy session, to get anything,
hard.
it's
Hard
super
to get.
hard,
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
really difficult.
because all you think of is, oh, for help, I just have to see a doctor.
Right.
You don't think of other resources.
Hmm. How did your organization, how did Make It Okay start? How did you get it together?
Yeah. Actually, Make It Okay in 2012 started when health partners realized that even within our own mental health treatment care facilities, we had stigma. We had stigma that was getting in the way of people getting the very best care that they could. And so we actually partnered with a number of other community organizations, including NAMI of Minnesota, the East Metro Mental Health Roundtable, and other community leaders, and said, we need to do something about this.
Hmm.
And we started actually with our own care providers, really saying, hey, mental health care is health care, and it should be treated in the same way, and really made great strides. Since that time, what we've seen is this expansion of community partners. And so if I showed you a map of where Make It Okay is active right now, you'd see a lot in Minnesota, the entire state of Iowa, Wisconsin, and all over the country. Because Make It Okay is really about providing resources, messages, education, and connection so that people can learn more and show up better.
Mm.
That's what we're trying to do in communities, help people show up better and then connect people to care, resources, and support.
So
Go ahead.
I was going to say, so what do people do if they're like, okay, Make It Okay sounds like something that they can help me with? What do people do? Like, okay, I want to get a hold of Make It Okay. I want to see what it's about. What do people do?
Yeah. Make It Okay has a really great website, makeitokay.org, super easy. And if you go there, there's some interactive experiences you can do to learn more. You can find resources that match what someone might be seeking. For example, resources for a rural population. If someone's wanting to know more about mental health in a rural area, there's resources there. Other resources for other groups as well. But what's important as well is we have free trainings and presentations.
Hmm.
That post-COVID world that we all went virtual. Well, so did Make It Okay.
Mhm.
And that's what we've found is that we can have access people all over the country, actually. So every month there's free presentations that people can log in, sign up for, that really help tell the story and help equip people to do what I just said about showing up better, like learning what to say and not to say,
Mhm.
learning the basics about what mental health and mental illness are. And then if they want to, they can even be trained as an ambassador and
Oh,
take that to their community.
wow.
Again,
That's
that's how it's
cool.
spread all over the country.
That is very cool.
Well, there's and not only that, and not only the presentations, but then you're meeting other people that have same problems or the same situation as yourself. I know for me, a lot of my stuff has to do with making sure I tell myself self-affirmations, because how I think of myself is maybe not how Staci views me or someone else views me. And not that it matters about what other people think, even though we're in the business of keeping our jobs with what people think.
Right. I know. It's just a real mind mess.
It is a mind mess, but I have to, it takes work, because I have to tell myself, whether it's me waking up saying, if it's simple, something like, oh, I don't have enough money, or saying, I'm going to make enough money, and making sure that today, okay, it's going to be a good day, instead of saying, I don't know what I have to do today. It's simple little things like that. But looking at the site and looking at your foundation, those are the things that you teach people that it's okay to do. It's okay to give yourself love. And that's something that I think we're so focused on giving other people love that we don't focus on ourselves.
Yeah, we leave ourselves last, which is a mistake.
And I know for me, I don't want to speak for you, Stace, but I know for me, because I know what you've been through, but for me, I had two issues. In one, I'm still struggling with today. It's anxiety that I'm struggling with today. But my other one was situational depression. I call it situational depression. It was the end of my marriage. And it was living like roommates, but trying to fix something that was already kind of just broken, you know? And so that depression came in, and then when it ended and we fixed everything, it was great. But now my anxiety's still there. So people have so many different things, not just one thing. It all just feeds into this big pot of soup or hot dish, if you want to call it. And we don't know how to fix it. And that's what you guys do. You help people fix it.
Yeah, I love how you described just your own individual journey, Hutch, right? Because each person has an individual journey with this. And most people, many people have an individual journey with mental illness and mental health. So I think that idea of fixing is a really important one to talk about, because what you talked about was self-care. And I'm not sure I'd term it fixing, but we don't talk enough about self-care being part of recovery, part of managing whatever mental health concerns or challenges someone is facing. I'll talk a little bit about healthcare people right now. You asked about COVID and what happened after COVID, right?
All the healthcare workers are they're they're stretched so thin.
Well, stretched so thin and a lot of trauma, frankly. We also see that trauma in communities of color. We see that in other groups as well. And the first step is also to empower people, like you just said, to give themselves enough priority to start self-care. And we actually have some new resources around resiliency and self-care, this Tools to Thrive guide. Like, where do we start showing up for ourselves? Because that's how we show up for others. That's important whether someone's living with symptoms of a mental health condition or not. If we're going to show up for others, we need to first show up for ourselves. So Make It Okay does both. Help people get help and connection for their own mental health concerns, and help us all show up better for each other. So it's both.
How can people, I mean, it sounds like you guys are, even the short 10 years you've been around, you're making a big impact. How can people get more information, get involved if they want to, and find help for themselves?
Yeah. I'd really encourage folks to do two things. One, check out the website and get started. See what the resources are there. And secondly, really learn on your own. NAMI, Minnesota is a wealth of information just to get the vocabulary around. You were talking about anxiety and depression. I think if someone we loved or ourselves was diagnosed with a physical illness of some kind, like diabetes, what's the first thing we do?
Well, learn about it and then support them.
Exactly. It's the same thing. That's the simplest message here. Start to think about what mental health conditions are. They're treatable health conditions. And we respond to them societally and as people differently than we do if the diagnosis was diabetes. So the first thing, check out the website, learn more. And then I think the third thing is to really be like you both are, open and honest about our own journeys.
Yeah.
Because that has a ripple effect. To be able to share like you just did, Hutch, and Staci, I've heard you do it before, to share about those concerns makes the way and opens the path for others to feel safe to do it.
And I think we've all experienced some, and if you haven't yet, you will, because all of us are going to mourn the death of someone or sadness over something happening, because we're all going to have, like you said, situational depression at one point. So sooner or later, you're going to feel a mental trouble and you're going to understand how this is. For some people, it's going to go away after a while. But for others, like myself, I have, major depression all the time. So I medicate myself. And then when I have situational on top of that, well, then it's a real party.
I think too, on top of that, because I got to remind myself of this. I don't know if you do, but I was driving to the Mall of America the other day, and going into the East Ramp, there was a woman just kind of in the middle of the turn lane. And instead of, doing what I should have done, I'm like, oh my God, just get out of the way. And she was talking to herself, and she was like, there clearly was a problem that she had. And I got mad right away.
Yeah.
And I didn't go in my head, hey, pull over, see if she needs help. see if there's, but that happens to a lot of people, even people with their own issues. You just think, okay, whatever. I'm going here. I'm trying to get here and I don't care. I'm just going to get mad. And you can't do that because whatever that person, whether it's road rage or whether it's, you don't know, and for us, you don't know what kind of day anyone's having.
Right.
And so when people email us or text us in, hey, you're a crappy father, Hutch, or Stacy, you sound awful, like we've got to take a deep breath and say, you know what? I don't know what kind of day they're having.
Yeah. It's hard to remember that sometimes because you have a knee-jerk reaction, but we're all like that.
But my reaction or your reaction, anyone's reaction could really do some major damage to that person. And if we can stop and just take a step back and go, okay, there's a reason they're acting this way. Let's not ourselves have a knee-jerk reaction to it. So I think you guys do a great job as to getting the message out there, but not only that, but helping people. So thank you for coming in. We could talk more, way more, with you. But again, we appreciate your time. And again, that website, makeitokay.org if you want to go there. So thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thanks, both.
Yes, there you go. All right. Hey, we got to talk about our friends over at Mattress Galaxy, by the way.
Yes.
Because, mental health also goes with sleep.
Yes.
If you wake up and you haven't got enough sleep and you're continuing to not get the greatest sleep.
It takes a toll on your mental health as well as your physical health. Those things go hand in hand. And there are studies that actually prove that. I've talked to Suzanne from Mattress Galaxy about that. And our eyes were opened by how much it can really affect you. So if you're having a hard time sleeping, just know that you're contributing to your own detriment.
Yes.
So if you want to go to Mattress Galaxy, they have several locations. Go in there and they'll help you figure out what's the best mattress for you. And the nice thing about them too is they are non-commissioned there. So they're not just going to try to sell you the most expensive, fanciest mattress they have. They just want you to sleep better. That's really the bottom line.
Well, they are good sleep experts.
They are.
They're the best sleep experts. And so make sure you check them out. Hudson, Hastings, New Richmond, and Woodbury with the Sleep Sanctuary.
The Sleep Sanctuary.
The Sleep Sanctuary. Can I talk about that real quick?
Yes. It's beautiful.
It's a good idea, but also a bad idea.
Are you afraid you're going to nap in there?
Correct.
It can be embarrassing because it is very
I'm going to
relaxing.
fall asleep in there.
I know,
and
it's nice.
Then they'll be like, sir, we're closed. Why are you still here?
Will you please go home, sir?
Yes. Can you please go home?
Yes.
So there you go. Hey, real quick here.
Yes. I see you have food.
I do. We're going to do this a little bit later, but we made Ross try for Snack Chat many months ago. We made Ross. You found a
protein bar.
Yeah. It has protein, yes. It's a beef, like it's a beef stick, like you had buffalo for him. I found this one that you got, and it was in the bottom of my drawer. It was chicken sriracha. I'll try this one because it's chicken.
Yeah,
it's not buffalo, but it seems a little hot. But we're gonna do this for you, and
okay.
we'll make Ross eat it too.
Oh, Ross is gonna love it.
Yeah, he'll love it.
Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should log in there, Rossi.
All right.
There he is.
So we're gonna try that, and then I won't show this one yet. And I kind of had a taste. I think you did too.
I don't remember what it is.
Let me pull it. Hold on.
Oh, I do know what it is. Okay.
It was really good, but shocking.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm excited.
I don't like that you guys both know what it is, but wouldn't say what it is.
Well, because we couldn't wait. When it comes to candy, we can't wait to try it.
We were just
hard for us to do
excited,
it. Yeah.
and I bought several of them so that we could open one on the download.
Okay.
But we outed ourselves.
All right, let's do it. Pass or play.
It's time to pass or play with Ross, our producer. We're going to pass or play, and he will have things to do and stuff to say.
What are the standings, Mr. Ross?
You lead 7-6. This could be a very big game in the standings. Your topics today. Let's ride the bus. Another Ross. GDP. How well do you know Mac? Honest Abe said it.
Oh.
Stacy, you trail. You can go first.
I want another Ross.
How many times did Ross Geller marry and get divorced on Friends?
Ooh, there was Carol.
1,
Okay.
2.
No options for her.
Yeah, I don't really need them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stop doing options. We don't need options.
You don't need options?
No. I tell you that every time we do this.
No, you told me to scale back from 4 to 3.
No, yeah, well, let's get back to 0.
Okay. Thanks, bud.
I think he married Carol, and then he married
Which one turned lesbian?
Carol.
Oh.
And then there was
Turned. I didn't mean to say turned.
I know what you mean. We all know what you mean.
Yeah.
And then
Bless you.
Jen.
Allergy
Jennifer
season, man.
Aniston. whoever her name was. And then the British girl.
This is a mathematical
Yes.
equation happening.
Stacy is
over
a
here.
Friends fiend. She knows it all.
Well, I watched them all when they were first run, and then I saw the reruns. Now I haven't watched them in a while, but I think, if memory serves me properly, I believe he was married and divorced 3 times.
Is that your final answer?
I think so, yes. Yay, I got it right. So happy.
Sorry, that's just the luck of the draw, Hutch.
Well, she knew it was going to be a Ross. I mean, come on. How many Rosses do we all know on TV?
Well, I thought maybe there was an evil Ross.
Could have been Ross Perot
Oh, could have been.
Oh,
And
could
his-
have been Ross Perot.
and his
Yes.
charts.
God, you and
He loves charts.
Ross is such a nerd.
Let's ride the bus.
Yeah, I'm gonna
GDP?
No, I'm gonna do Mac.
Which ingredient is not part of a McDonald's Big Mac?
Oh, okay. This has to have options because I could say ketchup, and I'd be right.
Onions, lettuce, pickle, or tomato?
Tomato. Final answer.
That's correct. I'm so in my head when it comes to planning this game.
I'm glad I
Options,
didn't
no
pick it.
options.
I'm glad I didn't get that one because
You
I
would have
don't.
said tomato.
I don't really remember. I've only had one.
She only had Stacy, when I first got here, revealed to me she's never had a Big Mac before.
Nope.
And she got it during the pandemic and thought it was great, but never had one since.
I bet you I've only had a handful. There are other things that when I go to McDonald's, I prefer to get.
I'm more excited about the chicken sandwich, the crispy
The
one.
new one, yeah. Or the McChicken is really good. The smaller
The
one.
McChicken. That's
Oh,
that's the one. The crispy McChicken.
Wait,
I
are you
think
talking
that's the
about-
same.
Are you talking about the crispy one or the McChicken?
I don't know if
The
the
big one?
difference. I don't know, but it's crispy. And
Then you're
there's
talking about the bigger
mayonnaise
one.
on it.
You're
And
talking about
there's
the bigger one.
there's shredded lettuce.
Oh, that's the McChicken.
Okay. It's really good.
Sorry, guys. McDonald's talked us
Hutch,
over.
big on Disney, big on McDonald's.
Yes, he is.
Let's ride the bus. GDP. Honest Abe said it.
Let's see. Let's do Honest Abe said it.
How long is 7 years
Ooh.
ago?
Oh, I used to remember this. I remember I went and delivered a teacher of the week one time,
hmm
and they asked me that, and I got it wrong, and then I found out what they told me what it was, and then now I can't remember what it was because it was kind of funny because they thought it was hilarious that I didn't know, but they all knew because they were studying Abe
Yeah.
Lincoln.
Ask them now if they know.
Right? They were in 4th grade then.
Yeah, that's also it, right? You
Right.
know it at the time.
But when you
I didn't know when I was
Well,
researching this.
4 score. Okay, I think it is. 4 score is
you can pass it if you want.
5. No, because you know it.
I didn't give you any inclination that I knew it.
I think that you know it.
You also think I'm a dummy.
Yes. But I think that you also know how to work this game. And I know that you know that. Okay. I believe 4 score is. Oh, am I supposed to say 4 score and 7?
Yes.
Yes, you have
Okay.
to add it together.
Okay, 27.
You're going to go with 27.
See, you did know it.
Wow.
47.
It's actually 87.
Oh, dang it!
Oh!
But
I get the point,
you,
though.
you still backed
I
into
thought
the
a score
point.
was 10.
No, I think it is 20. It
The
is
score
20.
is 20?
Yep. So 4 score would be 80.
Because it was 4 score, 7 years our founding fathers. So that would have been 1776, right? That was the speech. 4 score, 7 years our founding
Oh.
fathers. I think he was talking about independence. And I could be completely wrong right now. But
Well,
that would have
I'll-
been 87 years ago from when he was president.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
that
Yeah,
makes
because I
sense,
didn't know
too.
what that meant.
I can't verify that at the moment, but that does make sense.
All
so
right.
it's 87. Hutch, you're going for the win here with Let's
Ooh.
Ride the Bus
Let's ride the bus.
or GDP. Let's Ride the Bus. All right. Per trackschoolbus.com, I know we all go there daily. The average full-size school bus is about how many feet long? So you do need options.
I do
here.
need options on
See?
this one, yes. This and the Big Mac one needed options.
25, 35, 45, or 55 feet. How long is the average
Okay.
full-size school bus?
It's going to be 45 or 55. I'm 6'3", so if I lay down 5 times, that's 35. I'm going to go 45, final answer. Oh, is it 55?
No, believe it or not, and I actually had to text somebody who is a bus driver.
Yeah.
Just to see.
It's 35 feet.
Really?
But if you really do the math and you picture yourself
Laying down. I
Yeah.
just did the math and
Yeah.
I did 35, but I'm like, it's longer than me.
But-
So
So you know what's funny? I drove by one yesterday and I looked at it and went, I bet you it is 35 feet. But I always
Really?
thought it was bigger.
yeah.
I suppose it would be hard to maneuver if it was that long, but
I mean, 35 feet is a lot if you really think about
it
it.
is.
Stacy's still in the game. This is for the win, huh?
This is for the win.
Ooh.
GDP.
Uh-oh, this could be
Ugh, we all saved the
terrible.
math one for last, assuming it's math.
I hope not.
Oh, you would assume wrong.
No
good.
What
It's
does
still hard.
GDP stand
Oh,
for,
God.
Stacy?
Oh,
Um,
darn, I don't know it. You
That-
should pass it to me.
no. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Oh, I wish I knew this one.
This is me multitasking, by the way. I'm literally sending a work email while we're playing this game.
Okay, good. I'm trying to
Well,
think.
you should because you don't work on Fridays.
That's- well, not this
Um,
Friday because I'm working on Saturday with you two goons.
Oh, wait, it's not work.
Yeah, it is.
what's
We'll
that
talk about it later.
stand
So says the
for?
time card.
I've never actually looked it up. I'm just gonna have to guess, and I know it's gonna be wrong. Generated dumb personality.
Gross domestic product.
That is correct. Hutch is our winner.
And I don't know why I know it. I have no clue why I know it.
Well-
Because I haven't heard that in a long... I mean, you hear it on the news, but they always just say GDP. They don't say gross domestic product.
No.
Do you know what I think is the best part about that? I know that that's what it stands for. I still to this
You
day
don't know what it
I
means?
still to this day can't tell you why it's important, what it means. I mean, I know it's
I can. I just don't want to tell you.
okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, guess what?
What?
It's time for Snack Chat.
What's the latest grub?
Soup's on, fat boy.
You'll find out what's an oral gasm
Your chicken is delectable.
and what's dorm food.
Disgusting.
Because it's time to test your taste buds as we now present Staci and Hutch's Snack Chat.
All right, we're going to start with this one. Stacey got this for us. Remember the buffalo one you tried? This is chicken.
Oh,
This is chicken
Chicken?
sriracha. Now, Stacey won't do it because it's sriracha and it's super spicy.
I don't like spice.
But this is chicken sriracha bar, 100% natural chicken. It's from Epic is the company. Do you want to try it?
you're not going to let me out of this, are you? Because here's the thing: Stacy says she doesn't do spice. Ketchup is too spicy for me. I'm not lying. I'm awful at
No,
spice.
I'm not letting you out because you did the buffalo one.
Yeah, just
Well,
give
let me- I'll
just
do it
give the
first.
Yeah,
Let me
let
do
me
it
know
first
how
and then-
bad it is. I'm really bad at spice, but I'm also dealing with allergies right now, so it might not hit like it normally does.
Yeah, don't.
Sinuses are cleared.
How you feeling over there, bud?
Woo! Yeah. Ow!
You're ready to-
Smoking.
That's like you're
Yeah.
ready to go partying, right? You just get
It's
your
not-
second one. Let's go.
It's not too bad for you two. It'd be too bad. If I think there's a kick, then I know you two would hate it.
Because you're pretty good with spice, right? You're okay.
Yeah, buffalo, mild.
Yeah,
Buffalo
that's-
hot, maybe, but that's anything more than that.
I can do a little bit. Like if you go to a Chinese restaurant and they ask you like the spice scale, that's always tough because everybody's spice scale is
It's
different.
different.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's Minnesota spicy. And I'm
Right.
like, that doesn't mean anything to me.
But they'll always do it on like a 1 through 5 scale.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, that depends. Is your 3 actually a 3 or is your 3 a 5 or a 1?
So
You know,
what
like-
is your spice level, guys? Then, so like I know you said ketchup, and you're joking, obviously, because you can go to Buffalo Wild Wings and get like a barbecue
Yeah,
tangy.
Yeah, I can do some. It's even like most hot sauce that is legit hot sauce, not just like a flavorful
like
one.
a Frank's Red Hot.
Yeah, too hot.
Really?
Yeah, I
Parmesan Parm Gar at Buffalo Wild Wings.
I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do
because that
that.
has a little kick.
Yep, it's got a little bit of a
Okay.
kick, but I can do like teriyaki.
What about you? Well, anyone can do it. It's just
Yeah.
sugar.
But anything with like a spice, an actual spice level, can't do it.
Red hots are too hot for me.
Red Hot can't. Oh, those are actually super hot.
Fireballs. I
Hot
can't do
tamales.
fireballs.
I can only have a few hot tamales and then I'm like done.
What about those cinnamon things? Can you do those? Those are fireballs, aren't those?
I don't know.
Yeah. I
The
think
little
those are-
round red
yeah.
ones, those are the cinnamon imperials.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or
See,
red
those
hots.
because you put Red Hots on your cookies one time.
Yeah, and they were too hot.
They were too hot.
I was like, is it just me? Maybe it's just me.
You had something the other day. What restaurant did you go to?
I went to an Italian restaurant, Gididdio's, and I
Oh.
ordered something that I thought was just like it was just like tortellini, and the sauce was so spicy. I was like, "What the heck?" And so was my salad. And I was like, "I can't finish this. I have
there's
to
a
go home and
chicken
relax."
tortilla soup at Costco that you could buy, and it's really good. but there are some batches that are just spicier than others. And by the time I'm done, like I'll finish it, but I'm going like this. I'm like, it's just soup from Costco.
And then the next day I had lunch somewhere and I ordered something that it was like a rice bowl with like something else in it and chicken and stuff. And I was like, this isn't spicy, right? Because it didn't say it was spicy. Oh no. And they got spicy.
Spicy.
So I was like, two meals in a row. I got no food.
From right now, Stacy got this last week. It is the limited edition Hershey's white cream with sprinkles and popping candy. Remember the Pop Rocks?
Yeah.
They are in the candy. Now, we've tried them.
Okay.
And
This is intriguing to me.
Yeah, it was fun.
it's super good. Here's the thing I'm going to tell you to do, Ross.
Okay.
There you go.
Do you have to suck on it?
Suck on it.
Yeah, that's what I
Don't
thought.
chew it.
Suck it, Ross.
I'm going to chew it because I really want
Suck
some
it,
chocolate
throw
right
it
now.
back.
You feel the pop
Okay,
here and
so
there.
How many did you take? Just one square?
Let me just take one.
Couple?
It's so good. This
Trying
is
to
my
get it
new
to-
favorite candy bar. But
It's a
suck on it.
lot. It's a lot. It's very sweet.
Yeah, you got to suck on it. It'll pop here and there. You don't like it?
No, it's fine. It's just weird.
Right, because it pops. You really have to suck on it. I'm trying to get a pop sound, but it's good. I like it.
Kind of like Rice Krispies too. You know, like when you hear them
Mhm.
pop in the water, or the water in the milk.
'Cause I didn't think Pop Rocks would go with white chocolate, but they do. I love it.
Yeah,
They're super good.
if you like white chocolate, I think you'll like this.
Mhm. Oh, for sure.
It's very, very sweet.
Are you done with
It's
it?
very 4th of July-y.
Can I have it?
Mhm.
Ross, you don't get the rest of this.
No, you can have the rest of it. I don't need it.
It's so good. There you go.
I like that.
Yeah.
Good find.
Yeah. Where'd you get that?
Cub Foods, I think.
Oh, weird. It's like all gone in my mouth, but there's still like residual popping.
Yeah,
I
so
know.
you'll crunch down on them when you don't know it.
Well, there you go. That's it. That is our podcast, powered by Mattress Galaxy.
You got some spice in your eye. What's going on there, buddy?
No, it's really good. I was just itching.
Okay.
Don't judge me.
Pop rock in the eye.
Oh, Pop Rock eyes.
All right, you can follow us on our socials, Hutch KS95, Stacy with an I, KS95, and the Ross Brendel. Oh, by the way, I'll say that in a second. Our Marvel after credit scene. Are we allowed to talk about
Wait
that?
for it.
I don't know.
Okay. I don't know if it's a secret.
No, it's
or-
a good tease. Stick around.
Yeah, Marvel after credit scene comes up always after the show. So if you ended the show early at our socials,
You've missed a lot of
You've been
stuff.
missing a lot of good stuff.
Mhm.
All right. But I'm going to say we'll be back next week